And good morning, Space Engineers. This is Mr. Kassarian, and welcome to another episode of our Let's Play series. Nick is absent today, but next couple episodes should feature him. So, what are we working on today? Well, we're making some changes to this mining ship of ours. Alright? It's a design that has served us well, but it is time to modify it a little bit. So, one of the issues that we've been running into with this thing is that there's a bit of a design problem. It's a design flaw that I actually kind of knew about and kind of didn't want to fix, because it's kind of a major redesign. So these drills are actually spaced a little bit badly in the X and Y, or in the vertical side. Alright, so in their spacing out from the center, they're placed badly. And let's turn our lights off, because the lens flare is going to get pretty bad. Let us descend a little bit more. Oh, I don't have any landing gear on this thing now, do I? That's interesting. Let's bring her up a little bit. Center her a little bit. Let's hop out. Oh! Well then. That's, that's interesting. Okay, so that's a tube. That's a that thing. I don't even know where that ran. What is that? It's a tube. Oh, and it runs all the way back there. Okay. So there's our cargo container. So you can see what happened here was we had a bit of an issue. Namely, a very small block managed to infiltrate its way all the way back here. So I'm going to have to figure out how this piping was set up. But the main issue, and what caused the issue, is that these things are too far out. So let's get our grinder out. I'm going to grind that block away. Oh. Let's make sure we're not damaging anything else in here. No, it doesn't look like it. That could stand to be fixed. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually shift these drills in a little bit. Now, I think you guys are actually sitting on the conveyor tubes. So we're going to take out this drill. Which means we're taking out this bit. And in the meantime, I'm trying to get my Agrarian Skies world to cooperate. The lag has just gotten so bad that I kind of had to give up on it. Alright, so we're going to cut this block off, which is why you guys haven't seen any videos from Minecraft in a little while, because my single-player series, I'm kind of running out of ideas. And Agrarian Skies just isn't cooperating, so yeah. Alright, so then we're going to take our drill. Drill, please. We're going to shift it. Alright, so it was there, right? No, it was here. Except now it's just being a pain in the rear end. Right. Because we have to do one of these tricks to get it to place correctly. Okay, so then if I go over a bit, I can't. Why can't I? Ah, because this reverse thruster's in the way. Alright, so one of our retro rockets are going to have to be moved as well. Which is kind of a pain in the rear end. But alright, and now it's doing that because there's nothing to sit on. Okay, not a big deal. So let's get out our... We're going to need a small conveyor block, right? Nope, not the wrong type of conveyor. I need one of the small conveyor blocks. And that's going to have to sit right there. Okay. So we just need to figure out 1 motor, 2 computer, 4 construction components. So let's run over to here. And, oh right, it's not in here anymore, is it? Oh, joy. Yeah, so what basically happened was that Nick and I were both playing. And we weren't playing on a server. So we both had changes, like he tore apart all the ships, and we actually had to use the editing program, so you need a motor and 2 computers. We both used, ended up using the SE Toolbox editing program, not to cheat, but actually to merge the changes we had both made to this world. Which I think is a perfectly legitimate use of it. 4 construction components and 4 interior plates. And Nick was actually kind enough to tear apart that other ship that we had. 4 construction components and 4 interior plates. And actually, I should have just duplicated that twice. So, because I realize now that I'm actually going to need 2 computers, 1 or 2 motors, I don't remember, say 1 motor, 4 construction components. Oops. Wanted that. 4 construction components. And 4 more interior plates. One thing I wish, by the way, and this is if any devs are watching this by some miracle, is if you guys added a config option to make it so that when you shift right-clicked, it actually just gave you a blank selection box, so you could just like type it in and not even worry about it. Just type it in, you're done. Okay, so let's put a conveyor here and a conveyor there. And that's going to necessitate us moving our spotlights. Because we don't have a spotlight on that side. So we're going to... And actually, I know exactly where I'm going to put those spotlights. So let's put our small conveyor there and there, right? We'll just weld these guys up. The other change that I might make, by the way, is that this stuff takes a long time in this game. And if you guys don't scream and shout and yell, well, even if you do, I might do it anyways. No guarantees. But I might actually change my game configs to cut the weld time for items down by 1/3. Well, to 1/3 of what they normally are. Just because otherwise it takes absolutely forever to do anything. Get me out of there. There we go. I want you to place like that. There you go. So yep, we're just moving these things in a little bit. It's really no big deal. We're going to move them in. It's going to decrease our visibility a little bit, but we'll have, you know, drills. Drill, baby, drill. So put that like that, right? Then we had 3, and then that made it 4. Okay, so we'll have to figure out a place to put those. But that's not my biggest concern of all. My biggest concern is just getting this thing working again, and working in such a way that I can just kind of go straight down and not really worry about it. So let's dig out these. Alright, let's put that down. Because it just takes so long, and if I have to build anything on camera, it's kind of why I've been reticent to build a lot of stuff on camera, because it just takes so long to weld anything. Alright, so let's flip over. We can now... And actually, what I might do... Yes. Yes. Anyways, what I might do is I might make this thing actually drill a little bit better. Alright, so let's pull that off. We'll pull this guy off next. Now, before we do that, let's do this. That's way out in front of where it needs to be, but, you know, whatever. So Nick made some changes to Titan as well, which you guys can probably see if you look. Excuse me. Why did I randomly drop down there? Nick made some changes to Titan that I'm not unhappy about them, but he changed the paint scheme because it was kind of hard to see when it was just gray, when it was that matte black in here. But that's quite alright in my opinion. He's right, it was getting really hard to see in here. You know, and I kind of like this stock interior white. I may change it up, I don't know. I'm bad at painting. Alright, I'm bad at color selection, I'm bad at painting. Alright, so let's get that done. I'm not going for full charge because, well, we have stuff to do. I really need to turn off autosaving. Alright, so we're going to put this down. Like that. The problem with the spots is it's really hard to figure out a good place to put the darn things. So we have that there, and then what would it take? Ooh, no, we don't have that there. That's the wrong spot for it. Oops. Flip you over. Yeah, I forgot that that thruster was there, and that was making it impossible for me to place it where I wanted it to go. And it couldn't be there anyways with that thruster there, because it would, you know, blow out the drill. I ruined the point of this whole thing. So we'll do that. You are actually lined up correctly now. And what this does do as well, guys, it actually makes it a little bit easier for this thing to work properly. Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Alright, so add that on like that. Alright, so we're actually making the nose of this thing a little bit closer in. And it's going to mean that we're actually going to have to add, I think, more drills to keep the side mining distance the same. Which, as I think about it, probably isn't the worst thing in the world for this ship. More drills. It's going to make her a little wider, but... Come on, get in there. Get in there. It also lets me show off a new tool I have, which is part of SE Toolbox. Actually, is it? I don't remember. I think it might be part of SE Toolbox. I'm not entirely certain if it is or it isn't. It's a lot of fun, no matter what it is. So let's hook that in there. Oh, it was the connector that was in here. That's right. Okay, so now those are hooked in properly. Now I can remove these blocks. Perfect. And I could probably remove this block as well. I didn't want to grind my entire ship, just a couple pieces of it. There. Okay, so now those are actually hooked in. And let's actually just hop into the cockpit of this thing. Yeah, it's a little bit less easily visible than it was when we started, I admit. Because the drills are now coming in more into my center field of view. But it isn't horrible. So we're going to add 2 more drills to this baby. Okay. And that's going to require some more raw materials. And let me just hop in here. So there's a mod. It's not a mod. It's a utility, let's say. And if I can pull it... Nope, not what I wanted. Not... Though actually, it doesn't really matter, because we can take this thing over. She still maneuvers. Oh, right, because we're missing most of our rear-facing thrusters now. Let's let her pop to a stop. Let's slide her over. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we have an item, or a mod, or a tool. Get that out of my way. Called SE Calc. Okay? Space Engineer's Calculator. And what we're going to do for this is we're going to say, alright, I need to add 2 small block drills. Okay? I need to add 2 of them. Alright, small block drill, add 2. And then I need to add... Alright, so that should... 40 steel plates, right? And it's not working today. Okay. It has a thing where you can add a list to it, but it's just... For some reason, it's not working. Alright, calculate. No. Small block drill, add 2. Alright. Now go to 1. Yeah, okay. It's just not cooperating today. Alright, so let's say we want 2 small block drills. Let me expand this to a full window size. Awesome. Alright, now we're going to pop out of here. Now what it's going to tell me is it's going to list for me all the items that I need. So I need to grab a total of 64. Oh, I see what it was doing. Okay. So let's add 2. Set that to 0, and then we're going to need at least... Let's call it a pair of small ship conveyor hubs. And then that... and a pair of those. So we're going to need 64 steel plates. We're going to need another 44 steel plates that we don't have in here. Because they're all back on Titan, because that's where I was making them. See, I knew I should have grabbed something before I moved over here. This is the problem right now, is that all of our items are in 2 completely different locations. So we're having some minor issues. But we should be resolving that all fairly shortly. In fact, that was one of the things I wanted to do today. So let's just get a bunch of steel plates. We'll throw them in that box over there. Now, the nice thing about this is it basically means that if you know what blocks you need, which you should. If you've been playing this for long enough, you kind of get a sense of what blocks you need. Okay, so I need 64 steel plates, right? And let's actually get rid of all this stuff, just to make my math easier. We need 158 construction components. Then we need 66 small steel tubes. And if you notice, this is a whole lot easier than doing this by hand. We need 8 large tubes. I've even 1,000. Alright, then we need 8 more motors. Okay, we need 8 more computers. And then we need 52 interior plates. Beautiful. Alright, so now if we go back to our drill ship, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sink down a little bit. But actually, I may not even need those... I may not. We'll see. We will see. So let's rotate it, right? Can I... Now I have to do this again. Can I put you there? Yeah, you guys don't have a top access port, so I guess I'll have to put you there, but so let's zip up. Okay, and then let's weld you in. Now what I'm hoping is that basically this will be enough to allow the side panels of the ship to actually sneak through the asteroid. But I'm kind of not counting on it. If that makes much sense to you guys. The reason I'm not counting on it is simply because it would be too convenient. Simply put, it would be way too convenient. And I can't replace this with a curved tube, by the way. This one here, because it's actually connecting back from the rest of my system. So that one has to be one of these. It has to be one of these. Yeah, I can't do anything really about that. It has to be the small conveyor. So let's build this guy together. And we'll take her down to the mining caves just to see if she works as designed, basically. I mean, she should. There's no real reason that she shouldn't work exactly as I've intended her to. But, I mean, with these things, you never really know if they're going to cooperate like you want them to. So, let's remove all this. Okay. And now we still have... Let's see, where'd that spotlight go? There we go. I could put it here, or I could put it one forward. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put that there. We're going to actually weld that in place. There, we want it more in front of us. You know what? Let's remove this. Put them here for right now. That seems like a better placement. I'm not certain why that seems better to me, but it just does. And, you know, I'm the one who's actually going to be flying this thing, so I get to make the call there. So let's put that in place. Let's put that in place. And then we need to figure out where to put these thrusters, because we're missing 3 on the front. No, we're missing 2 on the front. As I look at it, I'm thinking, no, because that's going to be right in front of those. Well, I can get another one in here, right? I can get one down there, and then I can get Did the clearance put one in the corner? Not really. Not without expanding that out significantly. Okay. Alright. I don't have much space for these reverse thrusters is the problem. Well, I could put one down here. Right, and then I could put ones to either side of it. So let's get... Oh, I put it all away. Right. So I'm going to need... Let's see... Now, for this sort of stuff, it's not too difficult. Steel plates, construction, large steel. Okay. So let's go with steel plates. Oh, really all I need are this stuff. Okay. So I need another 2, 3. Alright, so... Then I can open up this thing, if I can find them again. Which is always a bit of a challenge. I thought I grabbed large steel tubes. I must not have. Grab you guys and go to 3. Let's fly back over to here. We'll put you there, and you should be able to go right here and here. I think. And these are going to be a little bit vulnerable to bumps and grinds, but honestly, I'm not foreseeing this being a massive issue for this right now. And yes, I know. Thruster components. I thought I grabbed thruster components. And yes, guys, I am well aware that I actually have, you know, engine damage turned off, but to be quite honest, I still like playing as if I had it, because otherwise it feels a little cheeky. I mostly have it off because I don't like the way they've implemented thruster damage. Not because I don't like the concept of it. I mean, I like the concept that you can't hide all these engines inside your ship. Because, you know, I mean, even for PvP, it would make it kind of difficult to actually disable someone if all their engines are, you know, behind 8 layers of armor, and that's not how this stuff works. Especially if they're reaction thrusters, which I think they are... Well, they don't have any fuel, but we'll call them reaction thrusters, because they pretend they're reaction thrusters. Now, theoretically in the game, this block that I'm putting in right now should burn that drill. But it won't, alright? I don't think it should. Well, that one actually, it probably should on that one. But that's just the model. Okay, so we're going to hop back in here just to recharge for a minute. Good enough. Alright, and now I need a connector. Okay. Can I just put you in now, actually? Home. I need a display and 3 more steel plates. Three more steel plates. And a display. Awesome. And then I just need a landing gear and I'm all set. And I've completely repaired the damage to this thing. The damage that Nick caused. He was driving it when Techman. The damage that Techman caused. I mean, he was driving it when it blew up, but it really wasn't his fault. What was happening was, like, literally maybe a 1 pixel sized bit of asteroid wasn't getting mined out in the center of the drills if you didn't rotate the nose of the ship around. If you rotated the nose of the ship, you were basically okay, but it could get a little tricky now and then. So he ended up doing that, and with those 2 rear-firing thrusters, if you hit anything while you're grinding ahead, you will blow up your cockpit, and probably something right behind it. It's just the way the ship's designed. You know, it doesn't... I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's just the way it is. Alright, so let's get... gear. I need landing gear. Give me my landing gear. I don't know why, there it is. I always have trouble finding stuff in this computer menu. Alright, so, small. There we go. Steel plate and a large steel tube. Awesome. Alright, so let's come in here. Let's get a large steel tube. And a steel plate. There we go. Alright, so let's zip down, let's zip up, let's bounce around. And we'll get this thing fully 100% fixed up. Now, there are some modifications I need to do with how the armor slope works and, you know, this, that, and the other thing. But I think she should be done. At least for now. And she looks a little bit more menacing, actually. So let's hop in. Let me open up my control panel. Let me go back down to my spots. Make sure their radius is set nice and high. And then let's fly her down to the mining caves. Let's also make sure she actually fits in the mining caves. Because that has actually always been a challenge with this ship, and I'm not certain if she will anymore. Alright, so let us see. Will you fit? I think the answer is with an inch to spare on either side. Okay. Uranium over there. Oh, let's flip around here. There we go. Alright, let's go out to the external view. And she should be significantly better at tunneling now. That looks like uranium directly in front of me, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. She's mining ahead pretty quick, actually. That's beautiful. That really is awesome. Look at this, guys. Look at this. She's eating this asteroid. And basically all I'm doing is I'm just holding straight ahead and thrusters. And she's actually not bouncing that much if you actually look at her. She's actually keeping a pretty straight path just because the sheer number of thrusters and the sheer mass of this ship as well. Now let's see what she looks like in here. V. Oh, we're still eating uranium. Nice. Now, the downside with putting these things closer in is that I can see nothing when I have this thing turned on. Like, I can see absolutely nothing in front of me right now. Well, you guys can see it too. But the bright side is we are moving through this vein quite quickly. As you can also see, it's not taking us that much time to do it either. I think we're into iron and gold now. Wow. Alright. So let's zoom out. Let's tilt ourselves down a little bit. Start thrusting her back. Let's turn these on. I need to put a rear-facing spot on her. And yeah, I need a rear-facing spot on this thing. Wow, look at that. Alright, so let's see what we got. I have plenty of stuff in cargo containers, too. We got a fair amount of stuff. We got 1 point... Wow. Jeez. Okay, but what we can also do here is we can exit this thing, and I want to put some more spots on here, because as it is, we're having some minor technical difficulties. Do I want to put spots in the back, or just on the tops? I'm not certain, so let's get under here. What do we need for spotlights on these? Spotlight, 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 spotlight. Spotlight. An interior plate, a construction component, steel plate. Okay. So let's go... Eight of these, 8 of those, and 8 of these. Look at that, we have everything we need on the ship. Okay, and I kind of want to add a spot to the top. I mean, honestly, I'd rather put them just on top of the drills, on either side of the drills, but It's not going to really happen, is it? Right on the nose. Let there be light! Actually, how does this change things? Because the problem is always, like, I can barely see when I'm in the cockpit. Let's open up K, so that's going to be 4, right? If I increase that... Okay, it doesn't help much in front of me. So let's go... Huh. Yeah, it's not really helping. Honestly, the spotlights are kind of wimpy. Like, if I do that, and then I do that, and then I do that... Yeah, that really doesn't help at all. That doesn't really help at all. Okay, so... Of course, getting us out of here is going to be entertaining. There we go. Now, the nice thing about this design now is, what I can do is I can sink her a little bit. She can just widen the tunnel. So we can just continue to collect uranium like this all day long. Doesn't matter. Absolutely doesn't matter. Eat that uranium. Go, baby, go. Yeah, we can see. I mean, she's doing a pretty good job of this. Hold on. Let's back our view out a little bit here. Let's get her rotated. Yeah, so see, this is one of the problems. You kind of have to guess as to where your tunnels are. But we did some mining without breaking anything off of her, which is always good. Alright, here we go. It's just going to be hard to figure out where you're going. Oh, I know what's happening here. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Sorry, we just have to kind of rearrange her a little bit. Alright, so let's fly out of here. And that's all light armor block, which is why it got damaged when I just kind of bumped into it. Oh, hello gold that just came flying out of my ship. That was new and unique. You know, she has a decent range. It's just when I'm down there, it just doesn't feel like it. Oh, and I lost a thruster again. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Alright, I need to figure out a better way to protect those stupid things. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. I think there's stuff that's deforming back here, and it's just causing havoc with this ship. But anyways, we'll replace that a little bit. What I wanted to do was I wanted to come down here and show you the new parts of the station. And I know I'm almost wicked over time, and actually, I probably am wicked over time now that I think about it. But I just wanted to show this to you guys before we get done here. And turns out I have the components I need to fix this thing, so hold on. Insert, over, and get in there. You still need some large steel tubes in you. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. We don't have any large steel tubes, so you'll have to wait. Okay, but what we're going to do, and actually I didn't need to do that, is we're actually going to make use of this connector. And the problem has always been that on my big ship over there, or on Titan above us, I didn't really have the space to implement a full collector setup. And actually, I can turn my lights off now. It's a little darker in here, but that's alright. So the Titan's there. Aha! This is part of the new shuttle bay. Part of it. Let's go into external view mode here. Let's rotate it. Now, the nice thing about this is, if I just shimmy, shimmy, shake, shake, as I shimmy, shimmy, shake, shake, is that I put this collector setup up top. So now I can go into here, connector, collect all on, throw out on. And you can see, it's happily dropping stuff off into our base facility. Nice. Now, it's going to take a little while to do that, but that's quite alright. You know, it doesn't matter to me if it takes a little while for it to do that. It's dropping them off a fair few at a time. And it's transferring all the items over. So, I'm pretty happy. And it's just going to keep dumping those items into this facility. The facility itself, now, is pretty nice. I like it so far. I need to fix the floor, basically. The floor has to be fixed, and gravity isn't centered, because the base isn't providing its own gravity yet. It's actually providing gravity from the main ship. The main station's providing the gravity. Titan is right now docked and providing gravity to this thing. And also, if you notice, the assemblers are not accessible from this side, which was a derp on my part, because I was working on it late last night. Are they accessible from this side? No, top and bottom. Alright. So this is going to be sort of like a hangar deck. Well, this part isn't. This part's going to be like an obs deck and control center for the hangar. Whereas this stuff over here is going to be where the actual refining and assembling is going on. Alright? So right now, I don't think that this is hooked up to this. Am I correct in that assessment? Yes, I am correct in that assessment. Alright, so what do you guys need? You need construction components? 40, 40. Okay. So we need a total of 80. I'm trying to get some stuff done while I'm talking to you guys. So, yes, 40, 30, awesome, awesome. You need bunches of stuff. Alright, so we'll just wait for the rest of the ship to empty out. So, as I was saying, this is going to kind of be the production refining center. You can see I'm already hooking up the tubes, and I have a way to cover them. Don't worry, we'll cover them up. And then this conveyor, because it's going to wrap all the way around the outside of this room, and also run down to feed the reactor down here. Okay? Because right now that reactor is actually not being fed by anything, it's just kind of running on its own. So, I know I bumped something around here somewhere. Here maybe? No. Here maybe? Nah, not too bad. But you can see, if I can find where the hole actually is. Which is kind of hard down here, but anyways. Yes, we have the spacing set up for the second reactor over there. So we'll have 2 reactor plants down here, which will be nice. Titan in orbit. Well, not technically orbit, because she's not orbiting anything, but she's up there. Alright, anyways. I'm starting to babble. So this has been Mr. Kazarian. I want to thank you guys for watching. And as always, Space Engineers, happy mining.